Well, here it is, another dark video once more. The 23rd of October, 2025. Or Wednesday, I think. Don't mind me, I'm just losing it. Yeah, a diary of a griever named John Weaver, which is me. Sending this one out to Artist in Recovery / Daryl Pay. Yeah, what's going on, dude? Yep, she's at it again. You wondering what's going on your side? Try the West Coast. West Coast is barely sleeping enough as it is, and that they weren't sleeping is pretty good with my own dog whining her head off in my territory of Rosamond, California. You don't think we don't have palm trees out here? Give me a frickin' break. We had palm trees out here for God knows how centuries. Yeah, even those things can get transplanted from one place to another place. So yeah, the West Coast does have them. It's Southern California. And me, I gotta deal with a madam stressed out dog who thinks she's still a puppy. She's 20 years, just about older. And she still thinks she's a puppy, and she's got a bellyache about things this morning. You're worried about not having interesting things to talk about, just to keep up your fan base. Are any one of your followers a caregiver by any chance? Do they actually blast out their stories concerning about crap going on? Why do I seem to be the only schmuck that does that in the first place? Well, maybe because I am a schmuck. Maybe because I'm seeing and hearing things happening on a national, international, and I'm like, I hate change. It's the nature of the beast sometimes. Some of us actually crave it, and other times avoid it like the plague. And in dealing with my dog, we both hate change. We both hate where we are right now. Bug infested hellscape. Sometimes you get used to it, other times it's not so numbing that you can't get used to it. Things to be done, unfortunately. Try this one here, dude. You're pushing 60, I'm pushing 60. You got your sobriety, I got mine. At about October 10th this year. About 19 for me, too. 19 years, dude. I don't broadcast it as much as like other people do. I just deal and cope with every single day as it comes right now. I'm dealing in a class of history where I got young kids that read textbook and think they're interpreting it very fine, and they congratulate themselves. I'm an old fart sitting on the online benches, reading all these damn things, and I'm all these repeats. I'm like, yeah, fine, you did a good job of interpreting someone else's work. But you got anything else beyond your own damn expertise and borders? You got anything else that you researched? Anything else you dug into? Anything you thought of? I may got about a 30 or 40-year-old in the class. They'll probably shoot the same age dirt I had, except probably born in the Reagan era, a little bit afterwards. But nobody prior to that. Like nobody under the 60s or 70s. And they can barely remember what happened back in the 80s with the Reagan era. Yeah. You ought to remember something about that, should. We're both showing the same age, showing the same dirt. Except you had different experiences of getting stoned out of your mind during those days than me. Maybe drunk or something. Hold on. Yeah, I'm dealing with she must be obeyed. An old lady who's frustrated and thinks she's still a young puppy. She can't do the things like she does, so she whines about her life in the youth. Misspent youth. And yes, we did have a youth. And I must have burned it up within the past decade. Because at this point, we're both too old reprobates. Back to the history course that I actually had. It was about the politics and wars between Korean all the way to the second Iraq. You remember that? You should. You lived through it, dude. At least in the time period, if not in the areas. Me too in the time period. It's definitely not in the areas, but I still remember the dancing. It's still giving me nightmares on some occasions. It's not the nightmares that would come in the form of visualizations if I happen to dream about it. No. It's usually screwing around with my damn pulse, screwing around with my nerves. Anxiety keeps leveling out like crazy. It's just, or trying to bump itself up on some occasions. Sometimes I have a hard time describing it. Sometimes it's undecipherable. And in this particular history class, dude, I am doing a report on just one day. It gave me PTSD for a hell of a long while. On my video channel, I usually talk about my health. How I got to the point where I am right now of hating the medical establishment to where I've got a lifelong PTSD I have never been able to get rid of. It's a lot of anger, hatred, fear. More fear. More fear. More fear. Or I can't stand sight, sounds, smells, or even the thought of it without my body and my brain automatically trying to kill me. I get older, I'm going to need the medical maintenance to keep this old carcass going. And I'm fighting it like crazy because I've been fighting it all my life. That doesn't get you crazy. Just take the element of that, the emotional status of it, the feelings, the subconscious that has all the stuff that makes you feel oogie. You put that and roll that into one particular day and a year that never stopped. And it still affects us today that they don't even realize that they're dumb kids. And I'm saying they're dumb kids because they don't know any better. They're seeing the after effects, but they read the textbooks and they think they're doing a very good job interpreting somebody else's works of fiction or something. Textbook we got is talking about the stuff we had to go through for Korea, the politics of that, the Cold War, the end of World War II, through the rice paddies of Vietnam to the halls of Washington, D.C. and the marches that were happening. And then we get into Reagan's era of the Cold War that these kids never understood or read about. And the more they get older, the further away they get from that time period. The older I get, it still doesn't get any better concerning about the Cold War because I'm always seeing that damn thing here. Yeah, she's on the roll. I'll have to send you a part 2, dude.